According to Sir William Haley, education would be so much more effective if its purpose were to ensure that by the time they leave school, every boy and girl should know how much they don't know and be imbued with a lifelong desire to know it. A self-directed teacher focuses on the independent decisions teacher must make in key areas such as lesson planning, group work, error correction, resource management, and evaluation. As a future educator, I foresee myself as a self-directed teacher who is always ready for the lesson, prepared lesson plan ahead of time, and masters the topic to be presented in the class. Manages all learning resources, such as using various resources that exist to help the teacher and the student exploit classroom learning opportunities more effectively. Uses commercial textbooks available on the market, such as students' textbooks, teachers' manuals, cassette tapes, computers, electronic support, and technologies available that would cater a lifelong learning. Manages classroom discipline all the time, knows how to handle discipline problem, and show fairness to all the students. Facilitate individual and group work activities, always ready to extend her helping hand for students' learning. And above all, knows how to evaluate students' performance, which shows fairness and judgment.
In the future, I see myself as a responsible and resourceful teacher. A teacher must accept all her responsibilities. She must impart knowledge of her subject matter to students. This goes beyond simply stating the knowledge that they have gained through their own education. It is not uncommon to hear a teacher complain about the responsibilities that are laid upon them by society. Many times, they feel too much pressure from the weight of what is expected of them. Teachers need to be able to meet the needs of students of varying abilities within the same classroom. Teachers have the responsibility to vary instruction and enable all students an opportunity to learn. A teacher must also be resourceful. A resourceful teacher finds a way to make things happen. She must know how to use available materials in the classroom such as cartolina, crayon, and other present materials in order to produce instructional materials when TV or laptop are not available. A teacher must be able to figure out how to get supplies and materials for their classroom when the funding is not available and to reach a student who has no interest in learning.
As a future educator, I can see myself as innovative and creative. To be innovative, you need to be willing to give it one more go. When some things don't work out and may be seen as a failure, you need to rise above this and not let it dampen your spirits. Innovators are not satisfied with the status quo. They are ready to shake it up and be outrageous. Your vision opens up a new paradigm, a new level of thinking and being, which encourages your innovation to grow. To be creative is to be smart. It has the ability to generate quantity of ideas, flexibility, and originality. Being creative produces interesting and unusual results. Remember that great art and great science involve a leap of imagination into a world that is different from the present.
As a future teacher, I foresee myself as a learner. It may sound cliche that learning is a lifelong process, but this is inevitably true. It does not merely end when a teacher gets his bachelor's degree, finishes his master's degree, or he becomes a PhD holder. It continues throughout life, especially nowadays that the society is becoming very dynamic. As much as possible, we, future teachers, should be updated to new teaching strategies, new informations, or in short, we must stay current. We must bear in mind that teaching is not just a one-way path, but a teacher to learner to society and vice versa, wherein we learn from our learner and the society, and in turn, they also learn from us.
In the near future, I see myself as a future information and literate teacher. As technology advances, the definition of technology and information literate teacher changes. Now, the definition of technology and information literacy is much richer and more complex because there is more information available than ever before, and the tools for finding, using, and creating information are rapidly becoming more diverse and sophisticated. So an information and technology literate teacher defines as someone has the ability to responsibly use appropriate technology to communicate, solve problems, access, manage, integrate, evaluate, design, and create information to improve learning in all subject areas, thus acquiring lifelong knowledge and skills that are highly needed in the 21st century. I am a kind of teacher that has the ability to know when there is a need for information.
The emergence of a global society in which economical, political, environmental, and cultural events in one part of the world quickly come to have significance for people in other parts of the world. The world oversees success in trading and finances throughout the globe. As a future educator, a teacher is foreseen to be a financial literate. A teacher must be equipped with knowledge to know all about money matters, recorded money balances, which involves the incoming and outgoing expenditures of the classroom. Through monetary resources, it provides the needs of the learner for education. Thus, a teacher must be able to control and manage their money. A financial literate teacher indulges money matters, is more keen to budgets and expenses, which make her more advantageous than others.
As a future teacher, I am civic literate because I have the knowledge of how to actively participate and initiate change in the community and the greater society. Civic literacy develops our awareness in civic and community affairs. It provides communication and solidarity among students across racial, economic, regional, and religious boundaries. And it encourages curiosity and involvement in multicultural exchanges and world affairs. Teachers need to be civic literate because civic participation not only encompasses voting in elections, but also a consciousness about the issues that are most important to an individual and his or her community. Social responsibility and integrating community-based projects into the curriculum enhance and enrich students' awareness of life beyond school.
There are many problems that people encounter today, especially the learners or the students. The learners are the core or center of the teaching learning process. They are the one who receive the instruction of the teacher. Along the way, they feel difficulty in terms of understanding the concepts or the principles of the lessons. But through the teacher, she can help with this. So as a future teacher, I would like to become a problem solver teacher. Being a problem solver teacher in the sense that I must refer to a knowledge base that supports my beliefs and actions in order to engage with pedagogical problems. The ability to render, discuss, or interpret a knowledge base that justifies the predispositions and assumptions that underlie teaching learning behavior is the key characteristics of the teacher as reflected problem solver.
Communication is a crucial part in the teaching learning process. It serves as a bridge to which knowledge is transmitted from the teacher to the learner. Having a poor communication skills may interfere the transmission of knowledge. So, as a future teacher, I should possess the characteristics of a good communicator. A good communicator asks questions to reel his listeners back in. A good communicator also is a friend to everybody. A good communicator also uses illustration well. A good communicator also displays passion in talking in front of the learners. A good communicator also must possess the characteristics of being informative and brilliant. Most importantly, a good communicator must speak with security and confidence.
Critical thinker is a process that leads to skills that can be learned, mastered, and used. Critical thinking is a tool by which one can come about reasoned conclusions based on the reasoned process. This process incorporates passion, creativity, but guides it with discipline, practicality, and common sense. A critical thinker is someone who explores and considers as many possibilities as he can. A critical thinker knows that he often has to follow rules, but he knows how to think outside of them. As a critical thinker, my thinking is not bound by rules or doctrines, and I'll try my best not to use emotions to justify my ideas. I don't take anything at face value because I know that many commonly accepted things and ideas might in fact be wrong. I realize that concepts such as right and wrong have a transitory nature. What was right yesterday will probably be proved wrong tomorrow. Almost every new right idea has come opposing wrong idea that it disproves and discredits.
Teacher as a leader and risk taker. As a teacher leader, I can serve and perform various roles by leading students and teachers and be their facilitator, mentor, trainer, and resource provider. I can also be a school leader, extending services in partnership and involvement on the different committees upon school improvement. As a risk-taker teacher, I'll go beyond my comfort zone, making use of new and varied teaching strategies and approaches that would cater the needs of diverse students for a successful teaching-learning process.
Becoming a teacher is a straightforward process when you know what you need to do. There are a number of pathways to becoming a teacher. You don't have to pursue a teaching certification from day one. One of the tenets of teaching should be that everything is in a constant state of change. Interruptions and disruptions are the norm, and every few days are typical. As teacher, I must cater for a broader range of student learning styles and develop independent and self-directed learning approaches in my students. Therefore, a flexible attitude is important not only for controlling stress level, but also for my students who expect me to be in charge and take control of any situation. Good teaching and learning and flexible teaching and learning are inseparable.
Global competence describes a body of knowledge about world regions, cultures, and global issues, and the skills and disposition to engage responsibly and effectively in a global environment. A globally competent teacher must have the knowledge and curiosity about the world around her. She must be aware of social issues and knows how to react about it for the common good. And lastly, she does not only have the language to communicate effectively, but the heart to understand diversity.
We can be whoever we want to be, as long as we always take into account the teachings that we will impart to the learners and the learnings they could get from us. We cannot give what we don't have, and we cannot share what we don't know.